Show up. Okay, we're live.
All right. So just a very quick recap of last week. Darlene said that the last stage wasn't so clear, and I wanted to add something. We did the Eitz Hadas. So we explained that the Eitz Hadas and Eitz Chaim was the same tree, and we said the machlokes is if it's wine, a chita, an esrog, or a te'ina. And then we added in that there are shittas people who hold that the Eitz Chaim was a remain. If the Eitz Chaim was a remain, and we have brought rayas and it's the same tree, so then we have a fifth shita of the Eitz Hadas that it's also a remain. So the idea was, we said that the wine, the shmooze of the wine was that wine is totally present. Babi Yomov, it is a thing that is has a roishem on it from every single thing it experienced. So if you want to be perfect and complete, you have to be totally present. That's what the whole yesod was. Everyone agrees that the tachlis hachayim is to be all that you can be. So the shaila is, how do you be all that you can be? So the first thing is that you have to can't be spaced out. Any life is 120 years. Any moment that you space out or check out is part of the universe that Hashem allotted to you that you're not going to have. The next shita was that it's not good enough to be present, like wine. It needs to be a chita. A chita is you need to put all your koiches in and do all the different steps, and then it becomes hamaitzi and it becomes a oil al shulchan malachim. If you stop earlier, then it's a mezoines or a hadama or a shahako. There's so many processes. As much as wine is the mushal for presence, wheat is the mushal for activity, for physical investment. And that's the second Mandamar says, an amazing thing. He says, not going to be present, but if you don't walk the walk, you're not going to become that. You don't just become sholim by opening your eyes. You need elbow grease. The next Mandamar says, okay, fine, you have to be present, you have to be active, but not only do you have to use all your koiches, but if you didn't also include all your pain and your trauma, then you're not going to do everything, because a lot of your life was suffering, and most people try and avoid their suffering or put it behind them. If that's what you do, then all of those experiences and moments are also lost. For you to maximize everything you could be, you have to figure out how to leverage your tsar also, and that's what the esrog mandamar holds. The esrog is creates hadar, because it's basically embraces all of its trauma. What makes the esrog beautiful are its bumps, and that's what makes it separates it from a lemon. They both go through a bitter life, but one of them wears it and one of them suppresses it. And then finally we said, not only do you have to be present, fully invested, and even including your tsar, the last mandamar says it's a te'ina fig. Why? Because the fig was what they made the belts out of, the chagoris. So if the tree was the same thing they made the belts out of, so then what's it telling us? It's telling us that in order to be sholim, not only do you have to include your tsar, you also have to include your averis. Even your averis are part of who you are. And those somehow find their way into your life, like they made belts out of the tree that they ate from. So whatever that means in our lives is to figure out how to harness our averis and to turn that into avodas Hashem also. Right? That's sort of like, I think I told you that Torah. For Rosh Hashanah. What? About the Mei Shileach, what do you call it? The Sivas Beis Sheva, that they drew the water from the Meshach and they poured it on the Mizbeach and Sukkot, and that's like the happiest thing in the year. You didn't do that? The idea is that, what are they doing? Why are you drawing water from the river and then pouring it on the Mizbeach? And that's the happiest thing in the world. What's the happiest thing? Because we would just buy the water a few days before that. Tashlach. Tashlach, you throw away your averis. What do you do on Sukkot? You go back to the water, you take all your averis back, you threw away amazing assets.
Especially if you go to Mexico.
What?
Especially if you go to Mexico.
You take all those averis, you put them on the Mizbeach. Your averis are worth gold. They're huge.
So what's that supposed to mean?
What?
What does that mean practically? Your averis are worth huge?
Yeah, averis are so deep. You know my crayon muscle?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know that.
So the crayon muscle, which guy was holier? Which is a greater moment, when the kid is drawing with his new crayons that he loves so much, or when he's crying, breaking his crayons in tiny little pieces because the kids made fun of him? You remember that question?
No, I don't understand the question though.
you have two scenes. This kid got crayons, 64 box of Crayola crayons with the sharpener in the back, right? The best box. He got that for Hanukkah. He loves it. He's drawing pictures. He's the happiest kid. His tongue is hanging out. He's like just drawing pictures nonstop. And then he makes a picture for his teacher and brings it to school, and the kids are jealous and make fun of him. He's such a loser. He's stealing crayons. You're in third grade. Who uses crayons? And he's devastated. He crumbles up his picture. He's so proud of him, puts it in his pocket. He doesn't want to be a loser. And he goes home and he sits on the floor with his new crayons and he breaks them into tiny little bits. So he's crying. Crayons are for babies. It's so stupid. Who needs crayons? Which of those two scenes shows you more how much he loves crayons?
Breaking it.
Why?
Why? Because crayons are inanimate objects. If you're done with them and you outgrew them, you put them in the drawer. You put them in the attic. They don't know they're being broken. You break them because it hurts too much. Because you love them and it's causing you tsar. You have to break them into bits. I call it breaking your crayons. A very, very deep thing. When you break your crayons, but in a way, breaking crayons is the deepest avodah in the world. Most averas are breaking crayons. It's an avodas Hashem. It's a whole different shmooze, but it's the Aravas Torah. Remember the Aravas Torah? The Aravas, we beat them on the ground, and the highest level of Shemayim. There are 7 levels of Shemayim. The Shemayim, Shmei Shemayim, Mechoin, Zvul, Shchokim, and the highest level of Shemayim is called Aravos. That's what we say in Tefillah. Hashem is Roichev Ba'aravos. You know those words? Roichev Ba'aravos, Meher Lechoilomim, Esamel Lishbois, Izemani. Yeah? What does it mean, Roichev Ba'aravos? He rides on Aravos. That's a description of the highest level of Hashem. Aravos is the highest level of Shemayim, and Hashem is riding on top of that. So the highest level of God is called Roichev Ba'aravos, riding on top of the highest. How could Aravos be the highest level of Shemayim, and at the same time it's the lowest thing in the world? You beat him on the ground, right? Because the shortest trip to the highest level is from the ground. Right? When you beat the Aravos on the ground, what do you do with them next? You put them on top of the arm, straight on top of the arm. It goes straight to the top.
How can you say that doing Averis is meaning trying to fight for HaKadosh Baruch Hu? It's literally the ultimate type.
Taiva is not such a bad avera. Taiva is like just you're shvach about taiva. You need bigger asagas, but you're still alive. Rebellion, anger is breaking your crayons. It's not taiva. Self-destruction is like dvekas. It's like you have to love God so much to
break the crayons?
Breaking crayons is like the. I had this story with a guy who was a shalom bias thing, and the guy was telling me that his wife. He became very yeshivish, and we were more modern, and he said that like he wants to move to Eretz Yisrael, like big Europeans, and his wife is going the other way. She's becoming more and more modern. She has different friends now. She's with the red toenail polish. She goes to Starbucks every day, and then they go to renting movies or going to the movies. And so he said, "What does he do? What's your answer? What do you do? What's the cure?"
Give her more attention.
What?
Give her more attention.
Give who more attention?
No wife.
Not the guy.
Each one. I mean, they're in the middle, and then they're both going.
So I told him like this. I told him like yeah, that story really happened. Like said nobody ever. That's the way they talk to her. These are the new sprachs. Said nobody ever. Right? I'm up to date.
No,
You're more of a we are.
You have to text, you don't say that. You just text. Well, how you don't know? Just no one talks anymore. Everyone just texts. So maybe if somebody would talk, then they would say this.
People say
Okay?
it. People say it.
said nobody ever.
Said nobody ever. Said nobody ever. Said nobody ever. Okay,
Yeah, that was
it's going to be some rabbit hole over here. Okay, so I said that really happened. He goes, "What are you talking about? I'll show you." I said, "No woman ever was like becoming more modern with her husband coming from her. It never happened in the history of the world." He goes, "I'll show you. Want to see what she's? I'll tell you what movie she just saw." I said, I wasn't denying that part. I was saying that you're not coming from her. When a wife sees her husband coming from her, she's the proudest, happiest person. She's your cheerleader. She obviously feels like you're not growing in Yiddishkeit. It's like, this is your escape, and this is your Xbox. And it's like the worst Xbox, because you can't even be angry about it. It's like, you're so holy, you're like it's tzaddik. But you're not like coming from her, you're cheating on her with God. Like Yiddishkeit is the other woman. That's all. It's not real. And I just know it's true because she's upset. And if it was true, she'd be clapping for you. So that's the story. It's like, you're just a fraud. And he goes, no, it's really, you don't understand. Like it's a whole long story, but he said, I wrote her a long letter. I wrote at the Sefer, it was whatever. I said, oh, beautiful. So you wrote her a letter telling her, like, the other woman told me that I should write you a letter. like stop with your Yiddishkeit, it's all fake. No more beards, no more payas, no more this. You can grow that when she tells you can. And until then, this is your trip to be potter. It's much easier to convince yourself that God is proud of you than a wife is proud of you. You know? Because God doesn't throw things. At least you know, not right away. Like, you know, this is what I told him. So at one point, So at one point I don't know what it was, the threshold, but he was starting to be masculine. He heard it. Like I said it like very, very firmly. Like there's no like there's always an exception, right? So like every guy is always the exception.
There's a famous story of this big rabbi, his wife went off at the complete off the derech and like stayed married for 2 years and then she came back on.
Yeah. He did tshuva, he fixed it. He stayed married and he apologized and he ate dirt and but he wasn't as big a rabbi as you thought of. His wife went over derech. You know. And so he went with the well. There's always an exception.
You know what my story?
It was only
your story.
I don't know how did that story
I think it's
Well, I don't know. I'm just telling you that if she went over there, it's his fault. I'm brutal. Like people think I'm pro women and I'm anti men. It's exactly the opposite. It is the most.
What do you mean the opposite?
I'm giving men so much power. You don't understand?
Why? Oh, because everything's
I'm saying grow up and be a man. Like you don't know how powerful you are, and you can make her feel safe, and it's on you. The guy who's anti-men would leave you alone and tell you how wonderful you are. You're trying so hard, good for you. Hashem should help you, and keep on trying. Don't give up, right? Hashem wants you to go through this, right? I'm not patronizing anyone. I tell you exactly the way it is. It's all your fault, and I talk to myself the same way. Anybody who knows me, I'm not. The first step in life is to stop passing blame. That's the most important rule you could have. But it's not like you're going to feel sorry for yourself or feel guilty. You feel like a ben chayr. When you own up to everything, you clear out all the skeletons from your closet. And now what?
You have no one to blame but yourself.
What?
You have no one to blame but yourself.
But now there's nothing. Right. I put it out there. I'm not hiding from anything. You own up to it. Just own up to things. Yeah. Okay. So I told the guy was trying to do I'm the exception. Like there's always an exception. It's like my point is like I wish you were the exception, because if you're an exception, you'd be the only guy I ever told this to who accepted it. Every guy says that he's the exception, so you're not the exception. You're saying what every other guy said. The guy who says he's the exception. You want to be the exception, then say Taka maybe. Said you're not going to be motivated to one thing until you're trapped. Till Imam has closed all of the escape routes. Like be the guy who's makabel when there's still two escape routes that you didn't probe yet. You didn't attempt to flee. Anyways, so he told me like this. Then when he got real, he got very real, and he said, "So let me ask you a question. So if I wasn't." So I explained him. He says, I wasn't making her feel like a princess, making her feel, huge, big, like beforehand, when she was a Beis Yaakov girl. So then, how am I going to do it now that she already felt? Like it's worse now, right? That was his question. That's a legitimate question. Mask him. So tell me, let's talk not philosophy, practical. How do I recover this? You tell me I have to treat her like I'm proud of her. But how can you be proud of her? I wasn't, then I had a problem. Now you're telling me, fine. I wish you would have told me then. Now she's already doing all these things that are not to be proud of. So that's why I told him the crayon story. And I said, you don't understand what. Like, I told him the whole story, the kid who loves to draw, and then he broke his crayons, and I asked him which one is a greater statement of his love for crayons. So I said, you have to understand that she's breaking her crayons. She didn't want to do this. When she's painting her toenails red, she's not thinking like, I'm so lucky I could paint my toenails red. This is my favorite color in the world. What's she doing? Every stroke with the paintbrush, whatever they call it, the nail polish thing, what is she thinking? She's saying like, Hashem, look what you're making me do. Like, Hashem, this is not what, like, this is like where are I? Like, why are you doing this to me? Like, you know, look where you're leading me. This is what people think. It's very deep to go over that, but this is not taiva. Taiva is such a like blue collar averas. Like white collar averas are crayon breaking. Okay? Taiva means all you need to know is that stop with the rice, there's pastrami. And then you go, oh right, okay, that's all. Okay? But these are real averas. What's this very good? I'll tell you. Remind me to tell you that mazins become zechuyas. Zedoynois nasu zechuyas. I'll tell you in a second. I can do it in 1 minute. I just have to finish the story. I should have done I didn't realize I'm going to be so invested in this. I should have done the whole crayon story properly because it's such an important story. But
with all the stages, and every time we speak about another stage.
I already did the punchline. So I'm not going to go back and tell it again.
Punchline.
I'm saying that the kid broke his crayons, and then breaking the crayons is this is the second stage, but I'll add. But I didn't do the whole thing properly. Whatever. You need a little drama. You have to be invested in the story. You have to picture how happy the kid is to get his crayons, and then how broken he is when he's breaking them. They crushed, and he goes to school. They make fun of him. The kid who saw his picture, and his mother gave him the picture in like a folder, one of his father's folders, manila folders, like bring it to school so it doesn't get ruined. Your teacher's going to be so proud of you. He made it for his teacher. And then there's one kid in the class who sees him with the folder, and he says, like, what's in the folder before the bell? And he says, I'll give you a peek. And he shows him, and the kid can instantly see that he has all 64 colors. You know, that winter green and the copper, all those colors. And this kid only has the 8-color crayon box. It's not even Crayola. It's that Chinese company, you know. So that kid says, my little brother uses crayons. I thought you were cool. You're such a loser. Who uses crayons? We're in 3rd grade, like, you know. So the kid breaks his crayons. So I told this guy that your wife is breaking her crayons. So you have to understand. So you could be so misspoiled. You chap how holy breaking crayons is. This is what you have for the hair. He was asking me, how can I be mechaber her? And what's the answer?
By realizing she's wearing crayons?
What?
By realizing she's wearing
And therefore what? That's the ultimate covenant. Because what's the real avodah of life? What's the real Messiah? We never discussed this, but this is so deep. What's the real avodah? The hint is that I'm going to say that breaking crayons is like the second holiest thing in the world. So what is the avodah of life that breaking crayons is the second holiest thing?
Picking up the pieces.
Okay, and how is breaking crayons being davuk?
Meaning it's not being done.
But it shows you care.
I'm saying it's the second holiest thing in the
The
world.
holiest thing is picking up with rubber crayons.
Whatever. The holiest thing is, we'll see. But using this, if I'm telling you a fact, this is the second holiest thing in the world. So what must holiness be? You don't have that this kid breaking crayons, it's total dveikus.
Why?
Because what he uses for connection, he's using to hate.
It's not hate. There's no hate here.
Breaking crayons.
What's he doing? Breaking the crayons. That was
embarrassed.
It's not even embarrassed. You don't embarrass. You put it away. You're breaking crayons means what?
You're angry.
You're embarrassing me?
No.
He's bringing because he's angry now.
I asked, what was the question? That's why if I did it right, and you have to get the right question as the build-up. The question is you have 2 scenes now. One is this kid drawing non-stop with his new crayons. like peeling it off and putting it back in the box. Like, they're really responsible. He loves his new thing, has total respect for it, takes care of it. He's so happy with his toy. And the other scene is this kid is sitting on the floor, breaking his crayons with big, huge tears into smaller and smaller pieces. These stupid crayons. I hate these crayons. Which of those two scenes shows more that he loves crayons? That was the question. You don't hear how the second scene shows his love of
It
crayons
shows
more.
that you care about them, not that you love them.
I'll settle for care about them. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Is that what you're saying?
What? They're not synonyms? What?
It shows that you have strong.
I don't love my wife. I just care about her.
That's right.
No, it shows.
It sounds like a
it
husband
shows
like
that it's hitting
negotiating.
a raw nerve.
Love is a hard. I care about you.
It's showing that it hits a raw nerve.
Caring about you a lot. How many lots is it to equal love? Like, what's the difference? Okay.
It's showing that it's hitting a raw nerve with you, not that you love crayons.
Now another word, hitting a raw nerve.
It's
You're like
opposite.
Houdini. You're refusing to use the word love. Like, think about it. You don't hear that it means he loves crayons? You can't be in such pain.
I think he's crying.
He loves them so much and he can't have them anymore and he doesn't know how to deal with it and he's just trying to silence that thing that hurts him so much. It's total love. But you don't have to go there. My point isn't even so much love. My point is the realness. That's what I was saying. The real avoid of life is being real. If you want to really get into it, like what is the struggle, the Yetzer Tov and the Yetzer Hara? It's not love or hate. It's simply this, is being real or being disconnected and plastic. Okay.
Been a pleasure.
What?
Until next week.
You heard the important word that you had to hear. That's it.
100%.
The thing is real. That's
Think so.
that's the punchline.
That's why he's leaving. He's got everything he needs.
That's it.
Yeah, yes is on it.
You can't be in, but you so.
We're not saying Madrigal, we said the same
Okay,
that's
so-
the show.
So MS, that's the verb.
It's not MS. MS is like philosophy. It's cold. You could be it's being real. It's like feeling. When the kid's breaking his crayons, what does he feel? There's two things you can do if they make fun of your crayons. You go crayons, right? Or you can just wear your tsar, right? This kid is just being so real. He's not capable of detaching. Like, I knew a guy who went on Yom Kippur. Shouldn't even say this on tape because somebody might. Went on Yom Kippur from guy. He went on Yom Kippur to get a tattoo of a swastika.
Swastika, no less.
Is that like the
That's
deepest
Madrigal.
from guy? Is that like the deepest thing you could imagine? Guy went on Yom Kippur. What?
Sounds like someone
He
hurt
waited
him.
till
What?
November?
Doesn't sound too
It's not time, it's just like hurting.
Right, obviously, that's what I'm saying.
But
That's
it's not
bullshit.
taiva. So again, we same problem. Taiva, it doesn't even belong in the conversation.
No, I'm saying this is
This is
definitely not
like
like
But it's not just,
yeah.
just hurting. It's so much. It's like saying it's not 1,000. It's just 1 billion. Like you don't talk like that. This
Yeah.
is huge. Taiva is like stupid. Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't even look at you when you're doing taiva. It's like just wasting my time. This is the guy Hashem wants to see. Hashem's like all over that guy. He's like sitting there in the tattoo salon, watching the story, looking at the guy's eyes. Like Hashem's waiting for the guy like to flinch so you can give him a hug. You understand how deep it is, right? He couldn't care less about the guy like sitting there on his filterless smartphone, like doing who knows what. You know, that's not what he cares about. Like just Hashem just go like leave me alone. Like, be big, you know. So this guy is like, but he chickened out. He was sitting in the chair at the tattooings on Yom Kippur. First of all, can you think of something better to do if you want to break your crayons? Is there a better breaking crayons than going?
Definitely
Well, first of
not
all, Yom Kippur is the day to do it.
Right,
Yom
for
Kippur.
sure.
I don't know why he didn't like want to eat chaz. Get like a
Yeah, I
tattoo
guess
of a
McDonald's
pig.
on the way. That was
What?
like you were eating.
No.
What?
No, because
It's
pork is still
McDonald's
heavy.
tattoo on
Eating
it.
is still
It was
heavy.
the night.
Eating
So
still
this-
hot, right, agreed.
Huh?
Could be so full.
Right,
for
exactly.
Seconds.
Whatever it is. But he listen. I trust this. The guy who does this, you could trust that this was the
Maybe
best
it's
thing.
cheap.
Like a guy like this. He's the guy you could trust. What was the best thing to do? Like he obviously
He thought this through.
thought this through.
Yeah.
She's saying this.
But listen what happened. He chickened out. He sat in the chair.
And
that's not a good thing. That's a good
You know what he got?
Oh, he got a different tattoo?
He couldn't totally check it. You can't. You
Right.
can't hang your. You can't give God that much credit. It's too hard to. You can let God win, but you can't let him win that. You can't let him like a devastating win.
So what did he get instead?
He got a yellow star.
It's huge. That's exact opposite.
So I told the guy. I said, you chap. There's not a person in Klal Yisrael who had a better tshuva, bigger tshuva on Yom Kippur than you. You won Yom Kippur.
You
Like
told him
you literally with Hashem. Like you chap what you did. There's nobody who even showed up on the chart that you're on. You know, then you make a graph that goes like this. Then you need like 8 more pages to go like finish with. You understand how deep that is? To go from a swastika to a yellow star. And this is how like our picture of Yiddishkeit is like a little flawed when we picture. If I would tell you a guy got, like if I tell you a guy got a tattoo of a yellow star on Yom Kippur. I mean, not even on Kippur. Like you'd go like, ugh, throw him out of Klal Yisrael. On Yom Kippur. Like I don't want to hear. But you have to put things in context. If he was going to get this guy is the Gadol Hadar. He probably carried Klal Yisrael on his back that Yom Kippur.
Are you pushing it a little?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Who?
I don't know. Maybe the guy who fasted and down the whole day.
What little dinky little tshuva did you do that year?
I'm not saying it was me.
Hashem, I'm not
Which
going to
year was it,
care.
Alta?
I'm not
I'll tell you which verse I didn't do.
I'm not going to care so much about like how whatever. What's your hang up in the like on in shidduchim and I don't know curly hair.
Curly hair.
Hashem, I'll listen to shidduchim with straight hair. Like how much tshuva did we do? Like little dinky little improvements. I'm not knocking them; they're huge.
All the curly hairs left the chat.
You guys are making me make the video private.
What?
We're gonna have to make the video private.
I think this should be private anyway.
Should
We'll see. We're gonna go right in the story. So anyone?
Oh, we're just warming up.
I want to finish with this guy. This is such an important Torah.
Oh.
Maybe we'll save. We're not going to make it to
next week.
We're not going to make it to the other thing, to the army. But this, you see, we'll see. This is very important. This is more important than most of the other Torah. Listen to the rest of the conversation with the guy. So what?
I'll go after. But you hold much all theirs either fall into teva or into breaking crayons. I mean, they're all the labor of love.
No, I don't know off the hat. I was saying even bigger than others. I was saying all of life comes down to whatever it is that the crayon breaker is feeling it, versus the Yetzer Hara is saying, like the eye roll, like just rolling your eyes. I'm done with this. Like I'm out of here. Like whatever it is, like just stifling the feeling. This guy breaking the crayons, it's just huge. That's why I say it's the second holiest thing in the world. Everything else is like far third place. The holiest thing is to draw with your crayons with such appreciation and to go like, Hashem, I can't believe the bracha you gave me. I can't believe what a life you gave me. And feeling that dveikus. But most people's kesher to Hashem when they're drawing with crayons is even less than the kesher of the breaking crayons guy. Because they're just drawing. But if you're drawing with a total hoidah and a total appreciation for Hashem's matanis, then that's, of course, the highest level. But the guy who's pounding Hashem, he's there. He just needs to switch. And this is what it means, zedoinois nasus chuyos, that your purposeful averos become mitzvahs. You understand how that happens now? Because it's auto mitzvah. You were being doivik. You were just, the last thing was, you still felt that God is not catering to you enough. So you resent him. So you're fighting him. But the second that you realize, you get to this place where you feel in a better place, you feel like Hashem could like you, and you're likable, and you're good, and you have hope again. So all that feeling becomes a hug. It's like, when the movies, when they're having a fight, a husband and wife, a boyfriend and girlfriend, she's pounding him, and then all of a sudden it turns into a hug, that kind of scene. Like when the anger turns into like, because the line between anger and love, hatred, is so subtle, because you're already being real. We don't understand the significance of realness. I'm literally making a claim now that is the avodah. If you want to define,
you're real. So once you're real, you
Right.
can switch.
Anger is right. You know the joke I always tell: the husband and wife are driving on the highway and they're having a fight in the car, they're screaming at each other, and they pull off to a rest stop because they have to use the bathroom anyway. So they go in there. He comes out of the bathroom, gets back in the car, and look at the guy. He's like totally out to lunch. He just takes off, and he's like a mile out of rest. And he goes, "Hashem Yirachim," and he realizes she's gonna think I did it on purpose because of the fight. It's like a whole nother level. Like it's like. But you can't just turn around. You have to go 4 miles to the next jug hand. Anyway, it's 30 minutes till he makes it back. And he sees her pulling into the rest stop. He couldn't even plan what to say. Like, isn't he? Like, he's in a whole different level. And he sees her like purple, you know. And he pulls up and like he opens the lock in front of this thing, and she opens the door. And she looks at him like you never did that. Like that's all. Like. And he looks at her. He goes, I didn't do it because of the fight. I promise. Why'd you do it? I just forgot about you.
It works. It's gonna work.
You understand that it's worse. Right? That if you did it because you hatred, so that means she's so in your head that it's kamat love, and that could turn around in 2 seconds.
You just forget her.
But just forget her, there's no recovery from just forgetting her. So this is why it's a doinais nasur schuyos. The averos that are mazids can become mitzvahs. But shoygegs, they don't become mitzvahs. Because there's nothing to recover. You had no experience. All of the emotion, the breaking of the crayons is love. It's just love with a bite. The second that you get to the real place, you can take all that hergish and put it on this side of the scale. What?
Taiva.
So taiva, that's how I say taiva is like shogeg.
It's like shogeg,
It's
right?
just clueless. You made a stupid call. You thought that this was better than learning. You thought this was better. You made a poor accounting decision. See, nobody would say that, but I'm telling you a huge chiddush that a shogeg, that taiva is a shogeg. Because it's not taiva.
Because you're not being real.
Taiva is not really taiva. We're calling it taiva. Taiva is a cop out. You know, it's not really a shogeg. So people would think that if, like hashkafa rishona, you would think that a mazid becomes a mitzvah. So kal v'chomer a shogeg. But it's not. It's literally just the shogeg becomes. The shogeg doesn't only mazids, because a mazid is a real experience. A shogeg is a non-experience. You can't turn a shogeg around. This is very, very important Torah. And this whole new way to frame. You have a test in your mind. Ask me kashas in the future, but it's such a huge thing that the definition of Yetzer Tov Yetzer Hara is real and fake. And real, I'm including cursing God.
And what?
Real, I'm saying, is like cursing.
Do you think most people get to breaking crayons ever in their life? Besides people that had very bold
It's
people.
a very, very far level. It's a very high level.
Or appreciating crayons. I feel like
Most people say whatever.
Right, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Most people don't get to enjoying the crayons or breaking them.
I know,
Most
but
people just
again,
go with the
you have to
flow.
realize that this lady wasn't cursing God. She was just getting red toenail polish. That's breaking crayons.
Correct. I'm trying to say even that level. I think
You
even
realize-
that's something.
Let's say even whatever is really breaking crayons.
Why?
Nobody wants to say the fact that you need to say whatever. That you needed to make up a word. Why do you need to call it something? Why do you have to roll your eyes? Why do you have to sound like a high school girl, like snickering, like making fun of things? That mean high school thing, Because that you need to silence your own wants. That's breaking crayons.
Whatever with what? I lost that one.
That's a sprach I used in another shiur. That when someone doesn't go your way, you go whatever. You have to resign, giving up everything you wanted.
Yeah, but that's the exact opposite of breaking crayons.
No, I'm saying
That's just going with the flow, like whatever. I don't know.
No,
if he's
that's what I
saying
said. I said at Hashkafa Rishon, I said whatever is the opposite of. That's what most people do.
It's a
But
little,
then
right,
I've done the opposite. I'm saying it was the opposite, and then the last thing I said is maybe it's also breaking crayons. The fact that
I see it as the opposite.
The fact that you need it's definitely the Pashup shot is the opposite. I'm trying to stretch my cloud.
Okay.
I started off saying that getting red toenail polish might be breaking crayons.
Right.
That's already not getting tattoos on your Kippur.
I'm not a girl. I don't know what that constitutes. Why is it not taiva? I'm not going to get.
Let's say doing the opposite that she doesn't want to do. I don't know which
That's not
constitutes.
who she is. Why is she doing this? That's her
They
rebellion.
make sneeze for a girl, but that's just time. That's their version of time. It's like a guy going out missing chakras. I don't know.
OUD.
Right, whatever. That's some time for a guy.
But this girl wasn't there. She already had that worked out. She regressed. The regression is she knew exactly what she was doing.
Yeah, but you could have two people do the same action. One does time and one does
When a
breaking
basic
grounds.
girl puts on red toenail polish, what she's doing is she's saying, God, I'm done with investing in you. You didn't take care of me, I'm not taking care of you.
If she knows what investment is.
Well, she knew to get red toenail polish, so obviously she knew what to do.
I don't know.
People are deeper than we think. That's why I wanted to say, once I went there and I said that the red toenail polish is already breaking crayons, then I wanted to go so far as that maybe you can even be malam. You know, I'm being malam with chus. I'm saying even though whatever guy is breaking crayons, the fact that he needed to make up a new word, that he needed to roll his eyes. Yes, it's a very lightweight breaking crayons, but he still knows it's not true. It hurts him, and he's trying to silence what he wants.
I don't understand how it's breaking crayons.
You don't.
I see it as the ultimate level of me copping out. Like that, my cop out would be
but
like whatever. I don't care.
Okay,
That's a cop out.
no,
That's
the ultimate level of copping out is you don't need to say whatever. Whatever is already a word. That what you're doing, you're saying I need whatever means doesn't mean I'm copping out. It means I'm copping out. But
whatever
it
means someone's telling you that like why you do that. I don't know. Whatever. I don't care anymore. That's
but that, that's me saying you're describing.
right here.
You got the lot.
Okay, it's a very low level here.
We want to say that everyone in the world there are no people who are not connected. It's just.
Everyone's not connected. It's not.
It's a
supposed to
cool.
be
Listen,
connected.
by the way, it's a cool way to do it, but that's what the whole coolness is. You know how you define coolness? How do you define coolness? Coolness is defined as not being invested. I don't care. That's what coolness is. The guy who's trying to be cool is saying, I don't care. So really, you could say that coolness itself is a breaking crayons. The fact that he needs to play this whole cool shtick. He's trying to silence his dreams. That means he hears the voice. The question is like this. Do you hear the voices of your dreams? And are you trying to silence them? So a guy who really doesn't hear the voices doesn't need to say whatever, doesn't need to roll his eyes. The eye rollers are all trying to silence their own voices. They're rolling their eyes at this person, not for that person, for what that person makes them think about themselves, they're trying to convince themselves. Well, if they make this person feel ashamed, then they don't have to face their big excited eyes, and they don't have to think about it themselves. They're really protecting themselves by rolling their eyes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so what did the guy say? So I told him that you could honor your wife. Look how real she is. You are so fake. You thought you're serving Hashem by growing your beard longer, and little do we know that you were just running away from your wife and all your obligations. So your wife, on the other hand, is so raw and real. She's like degrading herself out of her tsar. So you can be total. In my new definition of holiness, which is not such a chiddush, which is being invested, your wife is like the king. The red toenail polish is the second best mechanech in the world for being real, being raw. Call it raw. Raw is a better word than real. And that's how you can honor. What?
In touch with their emotions more feeling, more
touch,
spiritual,
no,
more
in touch,
spiritual.
In touch, no, we see those words in touch. It's such a modern word. It's like the opposite. Someone who's in touch is saying that I'm cognizant of them, but they don't. I don't own them. They don't feel them so much. I'm touched. It's like where I'm like very detached relationship. It's a terrible phrase in touch of my emotions.
Everyone has X amount of.
This is locked in. This is locked in. This is so much more raw.
But the more you're in touch with your emotions, the more you're
Once you have to add the word more, then you just don't use that phrase, and then you're trying to go this way, and then you recover the way you went. It's a terrible phrase in touch. Yes, I understand more in touch, or you could say very, very, very more in touch, and you can recover some of the territory that we lost. But don't lose the territory, don't recover it. Leave it alone. It's not in touch emotions, a terrible modern
So
phrase.
what was the word you used?
Raw. I like the word raw. Raw is like raw. Raw means raw. like your skin is raw and it's bleeding already. It's like worn. It's like raw. It's like real. It's the opposite of in touch. In touch is like so it's like white. You know. I'm white, by the way. So in case you're listening on a recording, that wasn't racist. You can't be racist to your own thing. You know all the rules. Okay? But you understand how it's very white to be in touch with your emotions?
The term, yes.
It's
I think the idea is still there.
It's like a snobby, inadequate therapist. You know?
The term, but it means something.
It doesn't mean. Anyone using that term, it means that it's not in touch. It's we're owned by them. We realize it's just how well you're faking it. In touch is just like the same thing as someone was being cool. Like I don't really care. It's like I can talk about it because it's like I'm so unswayed by them. Anyways, so
Would you answer the guy?
So the guy says he could honor. So he said, I said that's how you could honor her. So he heard that, and then he said, and I told him, I don't hear any desperation in your voice, like you understand what you did here, like you don't see this, like. So he goes, well, I didn't break her crayons. Is that a legitimate point?
No, because
You caused her to break her own crayons. Why is that any better? I mean, you brought her to a point where she had broke her own crayons.
He's saying she already was modern when they got married, mostly. He was already going in that direction, and it's a total wrong thing to say. So I said like this, here's what I said. I never said you broke her crayons. I could have maybe, but I didn't say you broke her crayons. That's not a husband's job to not break crayons. What's your job? Imagine our story. Okay, the boy comes home from school. He went all excited to give the teacher the picture, and the kid crushed him. And now he goes home, and he's breaking his crayons. The father comes home from work, and the mother says, "Tati, you better go upstairs. You gotta take care of Avi." The father, it's not about me. He runs up the stairs and he walks in. There's Avi on the floor breaking his crayons, and he goes, "Your mother doesn't work hard enough, you have to give her extra grief? How long did you tell us to buy you those crayons? You'll see the next time we buy you what you want, you ingrate, with no appreciation." Like, don't get,
Very relatable.
you have like zero appreciation, like unbelievable, I can't think how many times you said, I want those crayons, and I have them, you destroy them, you give your mother a hard time. You don't think I had a hard day? This is what I have to do. My first thing home from work, I have to go around upstairs and deal with this.
And then he goes upstairs to take care of it.
Then he goes downstairs.
And then he thinks like, I got
He goes downstairs, he goes up, he goes down by the kitchen, he goes, I took care of it. She goes,
feels like good with yourself.
she goes, well, what did you do? He goes, Hashem Yerachim, he's waiting a whole day for you to come home. He made that picture for weeks and we made fun of him. And he's just waiting for you to come home. So I said, you didn't break her crayons. I said, whatever happened in her life, she wrote the crayons. She's been waiting her whole life for her husband to come and marry her and tell her how wonderful she is. What does the father do when the mother tells him this? He runs up the stairs 2 steps at a time and he says, I'm so stupid, I can't believe what I said. You're the most amazing kid. I can't tell you how good you are. These kids are stupid, they're just jealous of you. Everything you made was amazing. I can't believe that these kids, they're so mean. Like, you're amazing, you're this, come, we'll get you new crayons, get you a bigger box. And that's what the father says, right? So I said, your job, I'm not telling you broke her crayons. What's a husband? A husband is the guy she's been waiting her whole life for the father to come home, the husband to come in and say, everyone was just jealous, you're the most amazing person, you're the greatest. That was your job. And you instead, you came in and you ran upstairs and told her how she's a mess up and a disaster. And that's what you did. That's what you did. You don't have to blame yourself for breaking crayons. You have to blame yourself for running upstairs and telling her how terrible she is. So the guy goes, Okay, now I get it. I hear. I said, you still don't get it. He goes, what do you mean? I get it. He goes, you don't get it. It's impossible you get it. He goes, why do you think I don't got it? He says, because what does the father do as soon as the mother tells him? What does he do? He runs upstairs and grabs it. And you're sitting on the phone saying, that's really deep, I get it. I said, I'm supposed to hear like a busy signal.
Right.
Like you dropped the phone and you ran and you're on your knees begging her and telling her, I wonder if that's supposed to hear. But you can't do that. You know why? Because the mushal is with a kid and the real story is with a wife. And what's the difference between the wife and the kid? When you run upstairs to the kid and you tell the kid he's the most amazing person in the world, it doesn't have implications for your life. But the second you tell your wife that she's the most amazing person and she's the best and you were a disaster, you marry that. So then, now you just faced fully on whatever it was that made you want to run away with your beard and your Israel stuff. Whatever it was that you were running away from, that pressure, is you just double down on that pressure. When you tell your wife that she's amazing, now it creates this chayfas, it creates responsibilities and obligations on you. I'm not going to hear any busy signal on this phone for a long time. Okay? This feeling is the strongest you're going to feel it, and it wasn't enough to get you to drop the phone. You're not dropping it after I hang up either. I said, you're a disaster. It should just be clear to you that you're cheating on her with God. Okay, God is the other woman. This has nothing to do about ruchnius.
He cried the rest of the night.
What?
I'm sure.
Yeah. No, this is like 15 years ago, so like people were still semi-masculine. I don't know if I could do this today to any guys. Right. But you hear how important this is? This is like huge Torah. It's Aleph base. But this is really this is what Avodas Hashem is about. Like no one even thinks that this is like they're gonna say, what does it have to do with Avodas Hashem? This is the only thing that has more of this chayvus than the wife is God. And it's hard stuff. But this is why all of this was a response to the man, the Omar holds that it's a gef, that it's a teina. Taking your Averas. The Averas are breaking crayons. Breaking crayons is gold. You go to the Meir Shemayach desperately looking for your Averas with a net. Give me my Averas back. I want to put them on this Ve'ach. Can you imagine? When this guy does tshuva, and let me ask you better. You know what Hashem has in Shemayim, in his museum of tshuva? The second best museum, maybe the best museum, but at least the second biggest museum in Shemayim is God's Museum of Tshuva. And you know what's in God's Museum of Tshuva? Every exhibit?
Crayons.
Broken crayons, red toenail polish, swastika, yellow stars. Yeah? Can you imagine that museum? That's not a museum you want to go to. You want to look around the aisles and go like, oh, okay, never got that bad. like this guy, I want this guy to be my Rebbe. This guy should be my Rebbe. This guy's the Rebbe. You know? You show me the guy who got the swastika. Can you do better? Can you beat, where's your competitive spirit? Can you do better than the swastika now? That's your homework. Your homework is go home and find out what could I have done better than a swastika.
He's gonna wake up right now and just hear those instructions.
So Eitzadas was Shaggy or
It's nice every time. He's not getting up now.
Or amazing.
You have 40 minutes left.
Oh, that's a trippy question.
But this all.
Because they hit themselves with fig leaves afterwards, right?
Right.
So there was busha there. So what does that mean?
No, so let's think that. I don't
We
want
didn't
to
get
think.
the
I want to
remedy.
open
So-
a whole.
Oh, all this
Last
is true, but
year.
the minds, if you look at around the world, all the biggest Hasham that are from that were Jewish people are at some building the biggest swastikas. So they're in touch with their emotions, but they're also running away.
So they are.
At the
So
same
what,
time.
no, so what happens is they are. What happens is this is very important. So I asked, what's worse than a swastika? We can all here think of a million things worse than the swastika, but no one's thinking it. You know why? Because we don't cross that line. What's worse than the swastika?
George Soros.
Why?
He has more
So
potential.
people are being infected.
What?
He has more potential. since
What's
he's
the line that
attractive.
he crossed? You want to do something worse than this one? I gave you homework. So what's the first step? You realize how low quality Avera the swastika is? Swastika tattoo. It's like we think it's so trippy. You know why? Because we're holy. But he's not even crossing the big line. You know what the big line is?
His kid is doing bad things also.
Other people. Crossing the line of other people. Being mazik. Hurting people.
So you have to think
It doesn't even register on the rebellion against God when you see like under my shirt. You know? That's the line. If you don't cross that line, then you're a tzaddik. Once you cross the line of hurting other people, that's
there's so many people that are they're living they're Betzim Rasham, not our Rasham, and they're doing their whole life like this. If a guy comes back around and he means he's always hurting, you're going the right direction, fine. But how many people never come back? They just continue living in a village and not bothering anybody else, but unless they're Rasham. If you like it or not, but the whole life they're Rasham.
Yeah. Okay.
So where's the line between amazing me and touch
I don't care. So I'll tell you.
and running away?
I don't know if I don't know if that really happens. The God I know.
90% of Jews in the more 99% of Jews in the world are Rasham, not from. They're not trying to come back.
No, that's different.
It's
They don't know.
Whatever. Let's say the ones that started off from.
The from guys who rebel. I'm going to tell you like this. What happens is the from guys who rebel. The God that I know is not going to leave. This guy is gold. The guy who's breaking crayons, getting a swastika. Hashem's watching him. He's like, this is everything else. It's like, you want to get your chores out of the way so you can sit and do what you really want. Hashem takes care of everybody else quickly so you can go back and watch this guy. He's his real guy. Those are the real guys. They're so dynamic. Hashem watches them. Hashem is not going to leave a guy like that without opportunity. He's going to give this guy opportunities. Either he's going to push him to the breaking point where the guy will hit the bottom like Aravis. That's the Aravis trip. You hit the bottom and you bounce to the top. The reason why the Aravis go to the top of the Aron is because this guy's an Aravis guy.
So there's no guys that
He hits bottom. Or Hashem gives him a little chizuk. There's two ways to get the guy up. Sometimes you have to be mechazik him, sometimes you have to push him a little deeper in. Now, there are certain people whose gaiva, this is important, is so great that they will avoid all of Russia and they'll die of Russia. But very rare. Most people, most people will either do tshuva or cross the other line. What was the other line? Be mazik people. They'll either cross the line of becoming a that's what I call Russia. The Russia is the guy who crossed the line, the king of Mazik. And the tzaddik recovers. Most people are in the waiting. The waiting room is I'm stifling my emotions. It could be harnessed for Kedusha, or I can cross the line and become a Russia. It's extremely... Again, everything that I know about the Rebbeinu Shalom, and I don't know anything, but I have lived my life. I'm around for over 50 years, and I've had my relationships with God, and the God I know is going to give you 1,000. You're too important to Him. He's going to give you 1,000 opportunities to bounce, and most people bounce or cross the line. If you have, and the gaiva's the
only people that go off there that don't cross the line are people that did it through taiva. That's the only option.
And what?
The only people that are not Jew from anymore, and then go off and intermarry all over. That's all taiva fused. It's nothing.
It's gaiva. It's gaiva. What happens is.
But it doesn't start taiva. So what starts?
The gaiva is where you want to come back and you can't come back. That's the problem. When you realize all this and you know you messed up, and you have gaiva. Now it's gaiva. Like I told you before, the whole struggle of life is to be real, to be fake. That's all like philosophically. I mean, it's very deep psychology.
I don't want to get this whole thing, but I want to know how we get rid of it.
This is important. I'm very happy you asked this because this next step is important. Even though we're talking deep psychology here, we're doing the philosophy of psychology, which is to be real or to be fake. In truth, you know what it's about? It's about gaiva, because everybody wants to get real again, and I can't once I'm not coming back to my mashgiach and telling him that he was right all along. So it's gaiva that in the real world usually holds you back from recovering. If your gaiva is so strong, and that's the people who become mazikin, as opposed to people becoming tzaddikim, are the people whose gaiva didn't let them recover. And Hashem has a way of humbling us. But that's a fascinating struggle to watch the war between Hashem and the Baal Gaiva. Hashem is trying to help you to lose your Gaiva. And the Baal Gaiva just gets angrier and angrier at God the more he messes with him. So everyone's doubling down. It's unbelievable how many people think they're going to win God. You know? So it's sad because nobody thinks they can win God. But they don't know a way out. They don't want to break. They're breaking their crayons and they don't want to be Maida. So you could go over the cliff like that.
At a certain point, they're not breaking the crayons. They don't only break crayons. It's
No,
only
you're
while running.
always breaking the crayons because you always have to double down. There's always new things where Hashem pushes you further, and then you double down. It's not good enough to break crayons. Now I have to start melting them, and then I have to start. I'll never look at art again, any art, whether I drew it or not. And then you have to.
And how long does this last?
Then you have to start paying, being a supporter of the National Endowment of the Arts to make sure that they will never fund a real artist again, only ugly modern art. What?
At what point do you call not breaking crayons?
What do you mean?
At what point does a guy's hurting inside and he goes whatever? At what point is he not considered
the
hurting?
second the guy says to his wife or to Hashem or to whoever it is that whatever mashal it is,
What about a
and
guy
says,
who's no longer following Hashem's ways?
Chatasi avisi pashati ata hatzadik. I know I can't believe that you're still waiting for me. I can't believe you didn't walk away. Can't believe you didn't slam the door. I'm fighting you the whole way. It's all Hashem. You've been the best thing that ever happened to me.
Tomorrow again, that's obviously off there. It's off the.
Every guy who's off the derech is this close to saying that.
Because this is fake off the derech. I'm talking about real off the derech.
What's really? I haven't met the guy.
Off the derech and Lakewood, I'm not saying in general. The guys that I see are hurting. They're just looking to find themselves. That's different.
And the people who you don't see are hurting are just the cool guys. They can't even be real. They're such bali gaiva.
True, but
the
there
difference between
are people that are going off all the time, right?
Yeah, like every girl who's a zayna in the world saying, I love my job. My father is so proud of me. You know how much I make and No, it's all lies. Everyone knows it's lies. It's what they say. The difference between the person who you say, of course he's going to come back, and the guy who you calling a real Offaderich, it's just, the guy's a bigger Balgaiva. So
but that Balgaiva won't come back. So at what point is not going to break crayons?
But the only thing he has is Gaiva. What I'm saying is true for all of them. That guy, it's too much of a Balgaiva to even wear his tsar. He needs to say, my life is perfect. Much better than it ever was. Yeah, he doesn't have any friends. He doesn't have family anymore. He's a loser. He drives a truck. He doesn't have a real job. These guys, and they live in the Poconos. Even the biggest loser guy don't live in the Poconos. And it's a place to go maybe for 4 days of a long vacation. Am I messing with the Poconos? Okay, sorry.
There's no Poconos canceled.
I'm not getting clear by at what point is the turnover point? A guy's hurting, a guy goes to the back end of the lake, right? It's hurting. Then at what point is the turnover? Is he in Russia? According to he goes to Russia
over time.
When he starts hurting other people.
And until then, it's not all about hurting other people. Guys, intermarriage.
Till then, listen, the guy's going to have to choose. When Hashem raises the ante, you're on God's schedule. God will. The price is right. I think of the way I picture it in my mind is the price. You watch even the holiest things. I have like Goyish frame references. There used to be the show called The Price is Right. And they'll go, "You're the next contestant on the right." What's that picture of Hashem doing? Hashem is sitting there in Shalayim. He's Bob Barker, or whatever it was, announcer was, whatever his name was. And one by one, he looks at people and goes, "You are the next." Now it's your turn. Come up here, Tzaddik. We're going to start messing with you, pushing you. You're the guy.
Go through a regular case that happens all the time. Sadly, from Jewish community, a guy goes down, he finds whatever.
I'm just like, okay.
It could be you get sick.
It could be through time.
Things happen.
Was it sick?